What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host, MB and K-Lou, man. We back in the What's up, ballers? Y'all out there, Double A, I know you coming into the building, man. We sure appreciated what you gave to the show, that fan perspective, and absolutely taught us about sleep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, and MB, we really didn't get to talk about sleep and all that, Double A, but MB might be a little bit more of a specialist than you because he used to put them to sleep as well. So I think if people are having trouble to sleep, let MB put on some pads and they come across the middle. And he'll night you now.
You sound like that kid that died. What's that Reebok commercial? The Office linebacker. He was
Now look, we got another back in the building. This the three backer show, man, and we got a backer, man. That if you love MB, man, and what he was able to do, man, this guy right here taught him everything he knew, man. And Los, man. MB done told us the stories where he was outside crying and you dragged him. Come on, one more, do it again. And you saw him. Come back in there with your mama.
Hey, K-Lou, he had me mad about to kill somebody. He said, man, you pee the bed, you do this, you're a little chump, you let him treat you like a punk. He wrote this thing called the 10 Commandments of Linebacker. And he had one. He said, "Man, it was crazy. He's like, let everybody remember your helmet size." And he said, "Don't let nobody treat you like a punk. Don't do that. Like, man, wet the bed and all this stuff, man."
See how he ruined it, man. I bring it out, man. I wasn't through, low, and he just jumped in, man.
He got me excited. I didn't know.
Listen, I like to make people feel like they ain't never felt before when they come on our show, man. And MB go ahead and blow it, man. But
I didn't know you was finished, man. Go ahead, continue, baby. Go ahead, continue, Don King.
Listen, I really want to say thank you, man, for coming on here, man, and giving us a football perspective. But better than that, man, from the man he's become, man, and he gives you a lot of credit for that. He looked up to you, man, and we get a little bit of stories as we continue show by show, and how much respect he had for you and how much he loved and cherished y'all relationship, man. I just want to thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart for what you poured in him. He's been able to pour into other guys like myself, so I really want to appreciate that and just say thank you, Los.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That reminds me of from the Rwanda for the Black Panther when the boy died, he went to see his dad right before he became king. And he said, the father said this, and he said he wasn't ready to become the king. He said, what kind of father I would be if I died and never prepared my family for my death. And part of the life of being a big brother is preparing the younger brother for life that's going to come their way. And sometimes that's done with hardship, with tears, and even frustration. But at the end of the day, he knows that I love him.
Wow.
All right, K-Lou, don't get him too fired up. He's a preacher too. He's a pastor. So don't get him too fired up.
I ain't gonna even go there, Lo. What I'm afraid of now is LB. That's my brother. I love him so much. He might break down now.
I'm trying to hold it in, man. I got my sister here too. Give us a shout out. What's up,
Carolyn? We love you, Carolyn, too. We ain't gonna never leave you out. Because unlike Los, Carolyn look out and she watch every show. So I appreciate you. You see how I flip on you? Los,
the greatest cheerleader.
So look, man, we gonna jump right into it. Los, 2020 has been marred by crazy events, mainly the COVID. And we said we're going to play football anyhow, okay? we just talked about the NFL our last show, and we put them on day clowning because they still trying to play 16 games, and me and MB ain't never figured it out from the beginning or to up to now, and they still somehow moving this game, switching that game, got Tennessee playing 3 games in a week. I told you, MB, this is going to turn into a basketball, and these guys gonna start being like Kawhi and saying, I ain't playing back to back. So that's a little hate on Kawhi as usual. But there are 5 postponed games this week as we move to college football. So, you know, you got Oklahoma State, Baylor, Cincinnati, Tulsa, LSU, Florida, which is a big one, Vandy, Missouri, FIU, and Charlotte, man. 5 games right out the gate. 3 of those you can really say can mean a whole lot down the stretch. Mm-hmm. I don't think these games going to be played. Los, talk to us about your perspective.
Man, you got this COVID that's affected so many. We got, over 2 million people being affected, not only within the first 3 states you were talking about that they're playing ball, but again, when you begin to look at the overall numbers of 8 million, but again, a total number of 200,000 deaths, that's a lot of numbers. It's going to affect everybody. It's affecting our communities, affecting our businesses, and it's definitely going to be affecting the NFL and college. The only thing that we can do is just press forward. And in some cases, we're going to have to, as you would say, it moves from some of those games because you're not going to make it to a 16-game season. There's no way. The money may be great, but lives are more important.
Mm-hmm. Man, you know what? Like, I don't know how to do it. Right now, it's the first quarter of the season. So you just passed the first quarter. So right now they got some flexibility because of the bye. But what's going to happen, you know, when you get late on the season? And then now today, right? New England Patriots, who got their game pushed back, who they had to shuffle some things around, just had another positive test. Yeah. So now what you gonna do, right? So now that's like they just had to pull dudes off the practice field, stop practice because dudes got a positive test. So then now what's gonna happen? So then now, like you said, K-Lou, it's gonna be like when we talk about they already was complaining about the damage that was done coming from a Sunday game, and you got to turn around and play a Thursday game. Now what's going to happen now where that becomes a norm, where now you got 2 games in 1 week, and you may have to do that in 2 or 3 in a 3-week span. You know what I'm saying? For argument's sake, you know, that's a lot on the body, man. It's like, man, come on, man. You just can't do it with this current format. So that's what I'm saying. A modified season at best, right? But then now you're like, okay, some teams play, some teams don't play. Then what are you going to do about that? How are you going to determine who wins? So it's a lot of stuff. And like I said, I think this past thing, like you say, they must be clowning. They clowning, right? They must be clowning, but they clowning. They already did musical chairs and had to move, like 5 games around with the NFL? Right. So now what's going to happen as the season goes on? So I think they just fool themselves if they think they can get it in.
Well, getting back to college, we got Saban on there, MB, in an important week for them, for Alabama. Saban just tested positive. You know, it's been a blessing for him because he's been asymptomatic. However, Saban worried about them Georgia Bulldogs because he say, man, I don't think it's right that we got to sit at home and can't even get on the phone with nobody, can't get on the headset. I can watch the game better from here anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the thing that they have and what he's complaining about, because you're right, he tested positive. So now today he just got a negative test. And so the presumption is that if you get 3 negative tests within 2 days, because you mentioned he's asymptomatic, then now that's a loophole in the 10-day quarantine that you can come back and possibly coach. So that's what he's hoping for. But in the same way, he's also saying, man, hey, look, if I'm not able to coach, it's stupid for me not to be able to coach from at home. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way of technology, because he's doing it right now every day in practice. You know, he's coaching. So and he brings up a good point. Why can't he do it? Right. But obviously, then now that opens up a whole floodgate because you can have a TV, you can see different angles. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to monitor that when you're at home unless they have an official right there standing with him and it's out masked up in quarantine. It's hard to
throwing a flag.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure he's playing fair, that he don't have any technology advantage being at home. So it's just open up. I understand why they have it in place. I get it. Maybe if they have like a special quarantine room that he goes to and that is only have this monitor, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, definitely, he's definitely complaining. Hey, we got my little brother. It's like a family reunion. Got my little brother on here now too, Keith. What's up, Keith? How you doing? Hey, Los, he talking about your forehead, man.
Talking about your forehead. Hey.
So you got that Uncle Jim forehead.
Yeah.
But K-Lou, no, but you see all the different restrictions about games being postponed. I know with the SEC, you got to have 53, I think it's like 50 players, like Florida, LSU, got to have a minimum of 50, have to have so many offensive linemen, a center, so many different positions. So especially from the SEC and a lot of conference got the same format that they didn't have enough guys to line up, Right. 1 minute, my man from Florida talking about I want the swamp filled up with a lot of people, and then he even doubled down on it, right? Then they kept hitting him. There, he like, wait a minute, I'm wrong. Please, bye, Felicia, I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Damn mother.
Yeah, he made him eat his words, man. You got to take this thing serious, like my brother was saying, man. There's too many people in this world affected. Being a football player don't make us immune to it, man.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. Absolutely.
And now, Los, I'm gonna jump right in here, man. MB talked about Nick Saban. He talked about the game a little bit about him wanting to coach for them against them Bulldogs. But Los, Georgia, Alabama. What's the first thought come to your mind when I say them two names? And then secondly, what's gonna happen on Saturday?
Come on, man. You got two of the greatest rivals right now in the last 10 years. Georgia's playing great ball. I mean, defense number one in the nation right now. You got a defense that is so stingy. They haven't had no one who scored a rushing touchdown over the beginning of this season. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it even in Alabama. That defense is stingy. And they got some rock solid linemen up there, linebackers, everything that they need to come back what Alabama used to be. Basically, Alabama is not the same on defense no more.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Good Lord.
I already know what you think gonna happen just by hearing your analysis of Georgia tells me Alabama going down. MB jump in there.
Hey, K-Lou, he got a little home cooking because he lives in Atlanta, so he going with the hometown team. So you kind of see that.
Ooh.
You see, yeah. So he lives in Atlanta, so he, obviously he going with the hometown team. It seemed like we grew up in Florida, so he's a full Georgia Bulldog fan right now. And then my man Jason right here, man, look at the comment he made. Rumor has that Saban false positive stem from his massive choking. That ain't right, Jason. Hey, come on, man.
Jason, we definitely know who he don't want to coach against.
Exactly. Hey, to me, K-Lou, you know what? This is a toss-up, man, because I normally I would be like, man, this Alabama game hands down, just because the record. No formal coach has ever beaten Nick Saban, and especially with the talent he still have, I see that continue to be the case. However, right, it's a chance. Obviously, Nick Saban's not there, but then when you look at Georgia Bulldogs defense, man, they defense is something nice, and they're pretty much carrying a team, and they're giving their offense time to continue to develop. You see Bennett, he's getting better and better every week. They're now taking a page out of Cleveland Brown. They're running the ball, play action pass, and doing those things. But to me, and then the thing that I say normally would make me go Alabama instantly is Alabama's always been known to have a defense. Yeah. Even when the offense was delayed or not explosive, their defense being consistent, except for the times they faced Johnny Manziel's and scrambling quarterback, that became a problem. Well, man, what Ole Miss showed last week, it put some doubts in your head. Like, man, was that a fluke? I mean, but Ole Miss attacked them, and then coming into Ole Miss was like you asking your dad for some money. He was like, man, I ain't got no quarterback. I ain't got a lot of parts. But the way they attacked them, and me looking at the film, they didn't really do anything special. I mean, they just fast tempo spread offense, what most teams are doing right now. So that kind of concerned me. But I'm going to go with Alabama, and the reason being is because of their offense. I love their quarterback and his decision-making. And for me, it's another week where the top teams are facing the same defense they see in practice.
Right.
So it's a comfort level, obviously, with both quarterbacks. But with Matt Jones and the offensive line, I think they can handle the pressure that Kirby's going to do. And they got the skill position with Waddle, Smith, and then they got the running back, the two-headed monster now with Harris and Robinson. I just see their offense being a little bit better than Georgia defense, so I'm going with Bama.
Well, that's awesome, man. So we got one Georgia Bulldog, one Roll Tide.
Hey, he may kick me out the house, man. Hey. I'm staying with him right now. He may kick me out his house, bro.
And
the Bulldogs like to drive by.
Hey, and I think I gotta break the tide. I'm gonna side with my co-host. I'm gonna say Roll Tide. I'm gonna say Roll Tide in a different way. I think this is gonna be a dog fight first half. I think it's gonna be rock'em sock'em like we love us. Us three are backers. We don't care if they score. We actually don't want them to score. So it's a different kind of ball game we enjoy. However, and I think we're gonna get that first half. But like MB said, I think Alabama's defense is too explosive. I think because of that, man, it's gonna be.
You mean offense? Yeah.
Oh, yes, sorry.
No doubt.
Too explosive, and I think this is gonna be a 2-score game, man. I think they're gonna blow it out in the fourth.
Yeah. I mean, that quarterback, he's definitely playing well right now. He's been playing consistent from the beginning, so hopefully it'll continue, man.
Well, moving forward,
and without that, nobody's pushing them, nobody's motivating them. Nobody can get people ready for a game like Saban. And if he's not on that sideline and just talking through the phone, that's not enough.
Hey, what MB just said, he might be there.
He might be. That's a chance. I think he got to do it as a PCR test or something like that. He's got to get 2 cleared in 3 cleared in 2 days or something like that.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. And you know Nick Saban. Well, I don't want to say this, but I know somebody like take a drug test, have somebody piss for him. So I don't know if somebody fill in for him.
Don't we know about that? That is a mess.
So I don't know. Somebody.
Hey, LB, we were worth some money, boy, weren't we? So look. So, man, Jason came in, brought up Nick Saban and Clemson last year, man. Clemson, number 1 team in the country, I think played.
Wait, hold on, Caleb. Look what Adam said.
COVID tide.
No. On the
Saban
street.
needs a prostate test.
Come on, Adam. That's ain't right, man.
Yeah, I don't know where that's at. Double A.
Oh, because he said because he old. Come on, Adam. That ain't right.
Man.
That ain't right.
Hey, Clemson is playing number 1 Clemson going Georgia Tech. They down there with y'all, man. They in the A. Yeah. So y'all hey, y'all can go watch from the fence, can't you? You can mask up and watch from the fence, peek in, see what's going on. I mean, you look at Clemson last week, I thought they were outstanding, showed everybody in the country who doubted maybe they didn't still have what they had last year, that we still are ready to go. Georgia Tech's been up and down mainly because they have a young quarterback. But a quarterback that we gonna be watching for about 3 years, then I think he out of there. But so Carlos, I'm coming back to you, man. How do you feel about this game?
Man, I love that young quarterback, Sims. I think he has some great talent, some great depth and everything. When you look at the running game, it's a young team with a young coach. They're gonna come to fight, and they've been fighting for the last 4 games. I think with the attitude they got, the mindset, they just don't quit. They're not gonna lay down for Clemson, even though Clemson is gonna come out on top. You got to expect a fight at least at some point all throughout the game, all 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm. MB, jump in there.
Yeah, I agree with it saying, because I like Georgia Tech not to beat Clemson, but I like Georgia Tech when they beat Florida State, and then UCF just opened my eyes. They just dismantled them. And so, I mean, to me, they don't have enough. They have some talent, but they didn't have enough talent and ability to beat them. And then also after this game, man, just my respect for Venables on how he stopped Miami offense, right? I know he's gonna with the normal week. You know, you thought he had the bye week, not Miami, and he put together. So I know he does a great job of taking away the strength of what team's doing. And so I just see Clemson, continue to roll. Now, one thing I would do say, I don't think Clemson is as talented as they were in the past, but I think what's happening though, they got a lot of guys continue to get better and better. The secondary continue to improve. The receivers going to continue to get better and better, and then they do a great job. So they playing better team ball right now. A lot of people sleeping on that. Obviously, NTN is definitely the bell cow. He's probably what you would call a LeBron of that team, and obviously Lawrence as well, two-headed monster. So, but I think they're a better team. They're playing great as a team.
Yeah. So you got LeBron and AD. I think
you got LeBron AD, baby.
Yeah, we spent way too much time on this game, Clemson, by a landslide. Louisville at Notre Dame, man. And I say Louisville at Notre Dame, but this number 4 Notre Dame. MB, talk to us about what your expectations of this game.
I don't know. You know, with Louisville right now, they had started off the season real good. Miami beat them, explosive offense, man. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. But to me, the defense is still not where it needs to be, Louisville. They don't have enough firepower. They're still struggling on the offense line at tackle. So Notre Dame's got a good defense. Obviously, their offense is kind of more run oriented. Quarterback he's not one that could beat you by himself. But what they do have, they have a great running game going on traditionally of Notre Dame. So I see Notre Dame getting this thing done, man, just because of their offense and their defense. They're just a better team than Louisville right now.
And Los?
I feel the same way. And I mean, there's no comparison when you get to look at what Notre Dame brings to the table. I mean, they're just constantly showing themselves as they bar the ACC for this year. But again, in the end, it's still Notre Dame. They're going to win this season.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all what. You two going with Notre Dame, and I'm going to go against the grain.
Okay.
Way too early, because I only go against the grain in the NFL, but I'm going to go against the grain.
Okay, you feeling something, huh?
It's going to be a barn burner. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going with Louisville to eke it out at the end, man. Not a game we all came to talk about. Duke at NC State. Let's go, Duke. Let's go, Duke. We're going to kill this game. We on the roll right now. We finally got Chase Bryce doing what he supposed to do. Cut Cliff at the wheels of steel. We're going to get these boys. We're going to run them out of the gym. Pittsburgh at Miami. It'll be
oh, come on. We can't just run over Duke like that. Oh, they are who we thought they are. That's what's about to happen.
Listen, I don't want to hear nothing you two got to say. So I skipped y'all and I went to Pittsburgh at Miami. That was on purpose. That was definitely on purpose. It'll be Pittsburgh at Miami.
Well, obviously, man, from my standpoint, this is a game Miami they finished licking their wounds against Clemson. Clemson beat them down bad, especially our offense against Clemson defense. And the thing about it, man, this is not what the doctors ordered, because Pittsburgh defense, if we struggle with Clemson defense, Pittsburgh defense is a grown man. Pittsburgh defense made Clemson defense look like a JV team. I'm serious. I mean, especially when you talk about the front four, and maybe that's a little too harsh, but Pittsburgh defense, man, they are aggressive. They're blitzing off the bus. Their defensive line is amazing, man. Those guys have got technique. And you know what, K-Lou, you remember when Black, I call him Black, Selwyn Brown was talking about defense don't swarm no more, right? Hey, those jokers be swarming to the ball.
Yeah,
they get to the ball with bad intention. Now, obviously, they don't had 2 back-to-back tough losses. Loss against Boston College in overtime, loss against North Carolina State. And their defense let North Carolina State drive on them. But this is a good team as far as defensively. Offensively, they got a quarterback kind of feisty. But they need some more firepower on there. Obviously, I'm going with the U, and I think the U's going to bounce back this week and get it done, man.
Los,
man,
you're down there, Homestead gone.
I don't know what we got in our game plan when they played against Clemson. The real question is, can we get back to the run game? What are you talking about? The University?
No doubt.
Because again, they got out of the game plan. That big lights, big team pulled Miami out. Will they come and be the old Miami that started this season off? If they don't, they're going to come into the same problem they did again, because Clemson exposed us. There's a lot of things that Clemson showed us that everybody else saw, and they're going to come the same exact way.
I'm going to step in here and get my head about to bit off. I ain't going to get no explanation. I'm going to just say Pitt in a close one.
Let's talk about Duke, baby. Talk about Duke.
We talked about, hey, watch this, MB. We talked about them already. Hey, look, Hey, look, and I put up all the hate mail. Double A
You
said
did.
March Madness time.
I
Steve
saw you.
said, "Do you really want to mention Duke?" And Steve
I
said
saw
again,
you. I saw
we
you.
got a sorry quarterback in New York. So I put up the hate.
I saw you do that. I saw
See
you
what
do
I'm
that.
saying?
I'm just messing with you. I'm just
Okay.
messing with you.
Okay, so look, we're gonna talk about who's keeping it real around here in these streets. A lot of people, you know what I mean, ain't keeping it real in these streets, Lo. And they throwing these rankings around all willy-nilly and just getting boys rankings that I'm scratching my head about right now because I don't see the ranking and the team matching up. So who's keeping it real? Who's not? Teams that could be ranked too high. You make the call, fans and us. So fans, pull up your top 25 right now. Start putting in the chat who keeping it real and who ain't. Los, who's keeping it real for you?
Well, Clemson is number one for real, and that's not a joke. I thought Florida was a little bit too high, and they got exposed. But again, we're going to be looking at Texas A&M, Texas. I mean, they just were throwing numbers out there, and then all of a sudden you're going to see it's almost like a COVID test. Everybody's getting tested positive and dropping out. I mean, you can't hold it. Yeah, it ain't symptomatic. You got exposed. And right now, a lot of teams getting exposed, and they're just not that real as you've been saying. And then right now, I think the top four that we got right now is legit. But again, after this weekend, we're going to see which is the better team between Alabama and Georgia.
So I specifically named in our notes, and I'm sure Lowe's it'll be shared. I kind of dwindled that top 25 to a few teams that I was scratching my head.
Watch out for the hate. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
On the spot, Lowe's.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Number 8, Cincinnati. Texas A&M, number 11. Number 13, Miami, the U. And then number 18, Tennessee. So talk to me about that specific group. Who keeping it real and who perpetrating around here? Remember that? See, Lowe's, you grew up when they were saying you perpetrating.
I go to 305. So I think, man, you put me on the spot. I don't know about 13 for UM. I don't know if that's real.
Yeah,
I think that's a pandemic attack. Right?
There they go.
They're not where they need to be right now until we can see the real UM against real talent. I think even 13 might be too high.
Right.
Hey, Los, you supposed to be my brother. What happened to CMB, man?
Hey,
Cash Money, bro. CMB.
We all we got. And my brother, keeper. Low, hold him and pull the pistol out. Grab the real tight and pull the pistol out on him.
Go jogging down Moody Drive. You know how that is.
Man. Hey, shots fired. Supposed to be my brother.
So MB, I'm gonna say the names again. Not that you don't know them already.
No, you go ahead. I know the names. You go ahead.
I want the fans again to hear them. Notre Dame, number 4, number 8, Cincinnati, number 11, A&M, Texas A&M, number 13, Miami, and number 18, Tennessee. Those are specific teams that I just pulled out of thin air and said, some of y'all might be keeping it real, but some of y'all I'm looking at perpetrating the fraud.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead, Caleb. I'm still recovering from my brother's shot in my back. He stabbed me in the back.
There's a bunch of flugazes around here. You know, I spent a little time in the Jersey area. They said this was flugazes. So I looked at it and I said, no, that's Cuban zirconia right there. It's shiny and pretty, but it ain't real. And I'm going to start out with Notre Dame. It's shiny and pretty, but it ain't real. You're going to see that this week against Louisville. I'm telling you, because Louisville can put up points. Now, they can't stop nobody. Okay, but they can put up points, and Notre Dame gonna struggle trying to match their point production.
I can see that. What you're saying? Go ahead.
Cincinnati, have you seen who they played? Have you pulled up? Now they had a pandemic game too, so they only played 3 games. They 3-0, but they missed one, and they talking about it's gonna be postponed. Yeah, we hearing that again.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati ain't played nobody, man. FCS.
Well, hey, but K. Lou, you got also with that number, you got to look at what they did last year as well. So
Look,
that's
I don't
factoring
care
into.
about that.
No, I'm
Perpetrating
just telling you.
fraud.
That's why the respect is
They not
factored in
number
that
8.
way.
Texas A&M might be. Watch this. It's quietly kept, man. Jimbo coaching this behind off right now. We don't even know who they players' name. Kellen Mond's been there for 25 years, and we still forget who played quarterback for them. Now they struggle here and there, but I think they are who we think they are. Watch this. I think they number 11 right now. Miami, y'all done heard me say they gonna get beat by Pittsburgh. That's not demeaning Pittsburgh, because that's a really good team, and I think they should be ranked. So this is a little shaky when you say Miami gonna get beat by an unranked team, because I believe Pittsburgh should be ranked, even though they lost tough. So that's the excuse I'm using for that to help your feelings. But UT,
Appreciate it.
Straight Flugaze action. They going down to Kentucky, and I think they done lost to them for 2 years in a row anyway. But they gonna go down again. Kentucky gonna get them, and they gonna get them real soundly.
Well, for me, I definitely understand what you're saying. It makes sense, but to me, the numbers are fluctuated, right? Because you got to look at it this way: you got two conferences that's not factor in, so it's almost like grading on a curve, because the Big Ten and the Pac-12 or whatever haven't played, right? So these numbers, so people are a lot higher than what they normally are, and so you see that. So, but for me, like, it's kind of too early to tell, but I definitely agree with you. I think even when you talk about the Notre Dame, Louisville definitely got some firepower and stuff like that. A&M, like I said, when after that loss against Alabama, I was like, because they was up, I was like, man, it wasn't no contest. They looked embarrassing, but then they came back and redeemed themselves, and they beat Florida, a good Florida team. The Florida team was going on point, so I like them. And then my Hurricanes, I think my Hurricanes are right where they're going to be. It's too early to me, like this part of the season, what I'm saying so early, it just don't mean nothing. It's like it's to the end of the season. That's when you know the contender versus pretender. But I get what you're saying. We try to sniff this thing out early, but I think UM's going to be exactly where they are. And then Tennessee, I like how they played against Georgia. The thing is, they just don't have the depth. Yeah. You know, the quarterback made some plays, but then the offensive line got exposed. Georgia just wore them down and just start blitzing, and it was like a buffet on their quarterback. So I think they're right where they should be. I think they're definitely. I think they're gonna. Kentucky's a good team. Kentucky came in, but I think they're kind of the same type of player, same type of team. And so I think Tennessee will squeeze that out. So I think they're right. They are a ranked team, and they're a lower ranked team in that bottom of the top 25. But because they're in the SEC, they're going to play a lot of people that's better than them. So they recommend not indicate that.
Hey, Keon Lonnie Lee Love said, drop the Canes to 23.
And then that's my little brother, right? That's our little brother. And you know what? Hey, listen, this is what he want. He a Florida State fan, so he automatically hate. I got hate all across the way. I got hate across between him and my big brother. Man, that hurt.
Well, look, we're going to move on to the big boy league and talk about the NFL. Start this thing out. Games to watch this week. Listen, ballers. Once you tuned in on Sunday, man, it's some big time games, and we even got a Monday night game at the end that you're gonna have to watch. The first game, you know, it was more exciting, of course, because OBJ was in the building, but now he ain't. Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Los, talk about that game.
Ooh. Without OBJ, they still gonna be able to win. I'm not a believer right now. I'm just still trying to see what kind of team we got with Cleveland. But again, they got great talent on both sides. You got so many number one draft picks on defense and offense. They're clicking right now. I can't say if it's the coach. It's just a timing thing, a maturity thing. So again, the coach is going to get a lot of credit for being able to pull it together. I just think they've been around each other long enough, and they've put enough time together, and now you start to see the fruit of the rewards.
Absolutely, MB. Them dogs are back, man. They ain't even afraid to wear the mask no more, man. The mask. Hey, I know. What's his name? I can't even think of the little rapper now, man.
Who?
Golly.
Who? From where?
the one who
was he from Cleveland?
No, the one who Russell Wilson
Future.
I know. Hey, you know they was listening to Future, man. They were taking masks off in Cleveland. Now they back home. They putting the dog mask back on, and they proud of their product, man. Talk about Cleveland. OBJ obviously out without even COVID. He just got the sniffles, y'all. You can't have a cold no more. Like you cannot be sick. You can't have an allergy situation. You can't have a cold. You can't have a running nose. None of that. All that's out. You don't play no more. We send you home. So talk about Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. To me, you know what? This is a good game, man. You know, you look at Cleveland early in the season. They faced it tough. They took that L versus Baltimore inside the division, and then they continue to play, beat your Cowboys, and won some good games, getting better and better. And then they're starting to find themselves and went to a balanced attack. You know, they got the number one rushing offense in the league right now. And then they play a Colts team that had the number one defense, and they was able to squeak out a victory. And then their defense is quietly playing as well too. They're doing a great job of stopping the run as well, and they're doing some things on the back end. Got 2 interceptions last week. But to me, you know what? I'm going with the Steelers, man. Okay. I think this is a great matchup. The only thing concerned me with this, I mean, Steelers got great defense as well, so it's going to be another tough competition for Cleveland offense, especially now if OBJ is definitely ruled out. I know he's a question mark. He had a negative COVID test. Then Jarvis Landry is out, right? And then also you talk about Chud is out, and he's not able to play. But still, Kareem Hunt definitely filled in, and the other running back did some great job as well, offensive line. But I just think Steelers just too much. Steelers, especially if Ben Roethlisberger can manage the ball well, which he's been doing all season, has 10 touchdowns, K-Lou, and only 1 interception.
Wow.
And so that's the thing. So that's the thing that's great when he's not turning the ball over, because he's got a tendency where he got gunslinger and he likes to turn the ball over. So if they can win the turnover battle, Ben could be smart with the ball, because all these games this year, like you mentioned, K-Lou, the rookie receiver Claypool, right? He was a problem. Every week. Yep, and every week it's been a different receiver that's been a problem. So I like Big Ben and spreading that thing around. So if he can manage the ball well and not force the issue, hey, I see the Steelers win this thing hands down, man.
Well, Los, they say OBJ better drink some bleach. what you see?
You're gonna come up with 3 negative tests. I'm good.
You better drink what Saber drinking.
Man, so moving right along, we got Green Bay, undefeated Green Bay at Tampa. Now this is a big one. Only because we get the Hall of Famer against another Hall of Famer. They say the greatest to ever do it against one that's saying, hey, I don't know why y'all done wrote that story and put that period on the end. I'm about that life. So I think this game gonna be personal for Aaron Rodgers. Los, what you think?
Man, I'm with you, okay. I like Aaron Rodgers. I like what he's doing. I like what Green Bay doing. It seems like Green Bay makes no mistakes. No matter who's that coach in the position, everything else, they just find a way to win. They ain't got nothing but ice up there. So again, all the guys are doing is just putting film and practicing. But when you look at this home field, I mean, you talking about them playing against Tom Brady, the Hall of Famer. Unfortunately for Brady, it might be one of those games he just don't want to play. He's going to get hit hard. And they got some ends who's going to bring some heat. And I know the offensive line on Tampa Bay is not able to provide the protection that he needs. He's already boiled them out on the film already. He's going to be talking to him again this week.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I mean, definitely, this is a great matchup, man. And Aaron Rodgers is playing outstanding. You know, we talk about let Russ cook, but Aaron Rodgers been cooking as well, and that team's the offense will be doing extremely well, especially being minus their top receiver. So I hope Adams is playing this week. I was trying to figure out if he was, because their offense is definitely rolling. Now I like Tampa Bay defense and stuff. I like what they bring to the table, but I think Green Bay, like we talked about, who's the best and a best team in the NFL. And remember last show, I stood on the table for Green Bay. So I'm going with Green Bay to get this thing done, man. I think it's going to be. I hate it because I like the coaching staff at Tampa. Man, they got 3 black coordinators, and 2 of the 3 I know as friends, and know the linebacker coach. So personally, I want them to win, but I just think Green Bay right now is just a much better team. It's going to be a tight game, a close game, but I see Green Bay getting it done.
Okay, I think for most, Green Bay having momentum, obviously coming in, Aaron Rodgers hot. Tampa Bay, the jury's still out on them. But let's sink our teeth into Tampa a little bit more. Why aren't they able to just go to the Super Bowl? This was Jameis Winston's fault, man. So why they ain't 4-0 and ready to go? Lowe's?
Man, you might have a Hall of Famer in quarterback Tom Brady, but you don't have a culture with a mindset of being Hall of Fame players. You still trying to take the second screen to make them first screen. And again, I think it's still an organization and mindset. They're just not there. You can put pieces there, but again, that don't mean you're going to win the game. And right now, they're just putting the right pieces at certain times. But again, you still have to change that culture and that mindset of the players that you got. Brady is where he's at. Gronk is where he's at, but the other players aren't.
Wow. Yeah, and for me though, I think Brady's still going through a transition, and you saw some of that in the beginning. I mean, because and that's why I believe the reason why you're asking this question, because he was doing some of the same things Jameis Winston was doing, especially early in the season. You know, and so he's got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. And then obviously Brady has always been this though, right? He's always been, and most quarterbacks are. They're a different quarterback when they don't got the protection. You know, they look different, and that's always been his MO. I mean, he's tough and whatnot, but man, you get to him, man, he's not comfortable in that pocket. And you see Chicago Bears was getting to him. You saw at one point he was looking at his offensive tackle like, man, what you doing? You know, like, man, take care of me, you know? So obviously you see a lot of that. And so that's why you're asking that question, because I think he's got to get better. He's got to find his niche. And this is one, and I hate giving him an excuse, but this is one of the things that maybe if you didn't have the limitation of COVID, you know, it'll be a much smoother transition.
Right.
But obviously look at, because of Brady, what he brings to the table, you give him the benefit of the doubt because you know what he could do, you know, and then massaging Gronk into it, getting those guys. So this is where you see that they're losing that maturation that's affecting them. That's one thing, but he's got to do a better job with the ball.
Wow. So moving up to Monday night, man, getting y'all a Monday night preview. Kansas City at the undefeated Buffalo Bills. I said undefeated Buffalo Bills. Featuring y'all, the new Le'Veon Bell, baby. Los, how you feel about Le'Veon back there in that thing now?
Man, I was concerned about that, to be honest with you. I'm going to say that, Caleb, because you wouldn't look at I discovered something. You can get talent, but if talent doesn't merge with what your existing people that you got, you can bring in a horror and a nightmare in an organization that's moving forward. I don't know if he's the right fit for them. I mean, he might have the talent, but can he merge with everybody they already got and with that team? I mean, it's almost like when you look at Earl Thomas. He great talent, just didn't fit that organization. And it might be the same when you look at Bill.
Wow. Yeah, I was surprised that they signed him, especially because the running back doing so good for Kansas City, you know. But obviously, man, you can't with me though. But then when I thought about it, you know, Andy Reid, man, he had LaShawn McCoy last year when they won the Super Bowl, and it's a comfort level. And if you can get a guy like Le'Veon Bell and put him on that team where you got great leadership, or you got guys who can manage it, you know, and guys, the culture, like I think Los, one of you guys mentioned the culture earlier. I think you take a gamble like that because it's a high reward, you know, even though it's high risk, high reward. If you don't get him, if he's nothing, I mean, you can just cut him, you know what I'm saying? And you can just, so it's costing you nothing really. So I like this pickup. At first I kind of questioned it. I like this pickup. And then the thing I like about it, as far as the overall game, with both teams coming off a loss, both teams undefeated. Buffalo lost against Tennessee Titans, Kansas City, like K-Lou, you called it, lost against the Raiders. I want to see how both of them respond and bounce up. And then I think it's the same factor, Buffalo defense versus Kansas City offense. And then also Kansas City defense being a break defense, and they got to come up and make big plays. Can they confuse Allen? And Allen's been playing well as well. So this is a great game, man. But I'm going to go with Kansas City. I think they're going to bounce back, get it done. I think it's a great test, but I think they're going to get it done, man.
It's scary when you add another weapon to
what
they already got going. And I just think Andy Reid looked at it like that. I think it's that simple. And our final football segment before we get to our boy Laser Colosso, baby. He coming this thing with that baseball. Let's talk about going against the grain, man. Am I going against the grain pick this week? Houston at Tennessee Titans. Tennessee is balling. If you saw that still form that your boy Derek put on Norman, wasn't it
Josh Norman.
Josh Norman, Oh my goodness. Well, I wouldn't have showed up to film MB. If you'd have did me like that. Hey, I remember it'll be when that'll be happening, they'll be slow-moing it and rewinding it, and it'll be saying receive.
See that?
That's so it'll be when Henry kept pushing him out and pushing him down. I just kept saying receive. And then I got a little puffed at him and said, take that. Bad boy. I was going all over the place. I ain't know what to think. So my going against the grain, though, man. I done talk high on Tennessee. Y'all know I love me some Watson, man. Y'all already know that. And I think the Houston Texans come in there and beat them Tennessee Titans, man. That's what I'm going with against the grain this week.
And this definitely, I mean, you went against the grain last week and you got it. I was like, man, what's going on? I was like, K-Lou was right. And I see it's the same formula in place. Houston Texans, they fired their coach, and then now it seems like they're playing with the new fire. Everybody who was hurt, they're healthy now, they're ready to go. So I don't know what's going on. So I definitely, and then also is a familiarity, right? They're facing a defense that they're familiar with. They run pretty much the same type of scheme and stuff, and so obviously that helped both sides of the ball. But I don't know. I feel you, and I definitely see it's a divisional game. But I think the Texans, man, especially with the Titans, especially with Henry, what he brings to the table, man, that joker's a problem. So I'm going with them, man.
Right, Lowe's.
Yeah, I'm with my little brother on that one. The fact that he played with them before they became Tennessee. Henry is a big man, boy. Hey, I don't know if I can make it back to the locker room or something like that. I mean, they had that boy posted on ESPN, Yahoo, everything. He's on Instagram. I mean, Henry is coming in. He's truly King Henry after that play right there. I didn't have that much respect, but I got all the respect in the world. I got to go with Tennessee. I like Deshaun, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with Tennessee at this point.
And K-Lou, I want to say this, though, but I got to give Josh Norman his credit because Henry's like 240, 250, right? He's a grown man, right? And then when it happened, right, I wanted to see how Josh was respond. The next running play that ran their way, Josh tried to hit him in the mouth. And I was like, what? Most people would have folded. So I like that toughness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he still took that L, right?
Ain't nobody watch. Hey, you the only one watch that next play.
Because I wanted to see how he respond. I wanted to see if he folded 10. I wanted to see if he went for the ankles and he tried to hit him up high. The next play, he tried to hit him up high. I was like, okay, Josh. He gained a respect for me, because that happened to me. I got ran over one time. I was like, golly. I was like, man. So I feel his pain, but I saw the courage when he came and tried to hit him up high. And I was like, okay, Josh, I see you. So I got a little bit more respect for him. He showed me a little toughness, man.
Hey, look, both of y'all around here went the easy route, as everybody do. Hey, look, and furthermore, neither one of y'all ever had waves in y'all head, so you know what brushing against the grain look like, okay? So it takes guts to go against the grain, and that's why I'm picking them Houston Texans.
Look boy, hey, I'm getting on all angles. Look, my little brother hating on me some more. Golly.
Oh, so he's saying it's been more than one time.
That's what he said. I mean, show me, chump.
Hey, Keon, Lonnie Lee Love, baby. Y'all know where I'm getting that from. Leon Lonnie Love.
And that's not even his real name, so he get it from the same place, Luke.
Well, we got old Lazar in here, man. He gonna tell us about them New York Yankees getting drugged.
Come on, get him off your Coach Laser. Get him off your Coach Laser. Hey, get him off us, baby.
He gonna step right in here telling us why they got drugged. Take it away.
Shots fired. Hey, Coach Laser, how you doing, buddy?
You know what? Pitching and defense was taking over these playoffs. Pitching and
Say it
defense,
again.
Though, is what's taking over. Could you hear me now?
Oh, the defense. Yeah. It seemed like you said the defense is taking over the playoffs.
Yeah, pitching and defense is what's doing it right now. I mean, you look at all four teams are hitting under 240 off of pitchers and under 220 off of relief pitchers. So pitching has come in and it's done their job. And when you have pitching, you know you're going to have some defense, make some good plays behind you.
Wow. We'll talk about the matchup. Is that the case with the Astros and the Devil Rays? Is that what's happened? Is that the case? Is the pitching and whatnot? What's making the Devil Rays come on top in that series right now?
Well, again, we go back to pitching. I mean, you got Valdez pitching for the Astros and Snell for the Rays. I mean, look at their ERA this playoffs. I mean, the ERA in the playoffs for those two guys is under 2.5, which is ridiculous. It's incredible, especially at this point in time of a season. But again, with those two guys, Snell and Valdez, you know, it's going to be hard to beat them. It's going to be hard to score some runs tonight. I think the game started already. I'm not sure what the score is, but I'm sure it's a low-scoring game right now.
Well, I know you mentioned pitching, and I know Tampa Bay wish they had that pitch back because my man knocked it out the park with a walk-off home run, you know, to seal the game. I mean, What's your prediction about tonight? Who you think is going to win that series and why?
You know what? It's funny that you asked me that question because, you know, as we all know, not many teams. I think there's only been two teams that have come from a deficit of 3-0 or 3-1. And I think the last team that came from behind was the Boston Red Sox. And, of course, they went to the World Series that year and won it. But I'm telling you, some of those two teams are now 3-2 and 3-1. They got a very, very good chance. Valdez, I like Valdez, that matchup with Houston, with Houston and the Rays. I think Valdez is hot right now.
Right.
Great thinker. It's just like the Dodgers right now. I mean, that kid, Dustin May, that kid is amazing. He's 98, 100 miles an hour. And his sinking he pretty much just pitches 70, 80% of the time with his sinking fastball. His sinking fastball, guys, it's at 94 to 98 miles an hour. It's unhittable. Wow. Unhittable.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Coach, you talking about them Dodgers, man, but ain't they down 3-1? So do we need to pitch every game? I know they take time off, man, but you gotta suck it up, man. That's why me and baseball don't get along all the time, man. Like, look, you got to suck it up. We around here playing with shoulder, Emmitt Smith running the ball like this down the field. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about I'm down tonight. I need you, bro. Bro, I need you.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. Dodgers, I'm going to say this in your show, guys. Dodgers will win today behind May. That kid, Dustin May, he's only 23 years old. He could pitch. He's tough. He's a guy that is not scared to pitch inside with his hard sinker. You pitch inside in the big leagues in pro ball, high school baseball, college baseball, you're going to win because you're going to take those hitters off the plate. Because, as you know, guys, hitters don't like that inside pitch, especially coming over 95 miles an hour.
Right.
That's going to be a great matchup. I'll tell you what, all two games are going to be a great matchup. It's going to be pitching And let me tell you, I'm going with the underdogs. You're going against the grain with Houston and Tennessee. I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Dodgers, and
Yeah,
I'm
it
going
is.
Okay, so you going? So now, are you talking about for the series? Or just the game tonight?
the game tonight.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, now you talk. Hey, now you talking like a Heat fan.
Hey, Coach. Sometimes we got to celebrate the small victory. Like I couldn't wait to the show. I was like, K-Lou said we was gonna lose. Talking about Mama, I was like, man, I wish we had a show. I was about to call it. Hey, man, we need to do a show on Sunday.
Oh, but then Sunday night happened.
Yeah, I was trying to get one in before, man, but he got us. But Coach, so talk a little bit about that Braves and Dodgers series a little bit more, man. What should we, when we watch the game tonight? You mentioned about the pitching and the Braves are starting to mentor Kirk, first career start for the Braves ever. But what else should we look at as you watch that game later on tonight? What should we look at? Anything else?
Well, you're gonna have to see what the middle of the lineup does against Maine. What's Ozuna gonna do? What's Freeman gonna do? What's Acuna gonna do? And Albi is also doing a great job right now. But if he could get over that hump of that middle of the lineup, which is, it's a tremendous lineup that between the third and fifth hole hitters for the Braves. I mean, now you got a really good chance. You really got a good chance. If those guys are hot, it's like the other day, Kershaw pitching to Ozuna. What would you have done? You know, and it's not Kershaw's all his fault. I mean, I go back again. It goes back to what's happening right now, which is pitching.
Right. Coach, do this as far as besides the pitching, I definitely get that. Who's the difference maker in these four teams that people may or may not know? Who's that difference maker okay, this guy, man, got to show up and they'll, blah, blah, blah. Go through when you talk about Houston Astros, for people who don't know, who's the difference makers on that team? Who's the guy that you like, man, this guy is the bell cow. He's the LeBron or Jimmy Butler, that team. Who would you say?
Well, right now, Correa is doing all Mr. LeBron, Mr. Jimmy Butler, Mr. Everett. Yeah. Correa's done a great job for them. But the guys that you can't let them beat you is Gurriel and Bregman. Those two guys cannot beat you. And those two guys are hitting behind Correa now, which now you got to pitch to Correa, because now you don't want to come and, not pitch to Correa, put Correa on the bases and then pitch to Gurriel. Because Gurriel, I mean, he's a great hitter, knows how to play the game. But those are the two guys, in my opinion. Correa cannot beat you. But besides Correa, Bregman and the Gurriel cannot beat you either. Same thing with the Braves. You can't let Freeman and Acuna and Ozuna beat you. Those are three guys that you're going to have to either pitch around them or pitch to them, back, what we call backwards pitching. Let me explain that to you real quick.
Please do, because I'm struggling.
Exactly.
Backwards pitching is cross counts. That means, like, anybody a 2-0 count, what are you looking for? 2-0 count, you're looking for fastballs.
Right.
Cross pitching and backwards pitching, now you'll throw a changeup or you'll throw a breaking ball. So how is May going to throw to these guys? Is he going to throw them backwards, or is he going to throw them what he, to go with his best, which is his hard fastball, his hard sinking fastball? And the same thing with Valdez and the Rays. Valdez is a guy that comes and gets you. He goes right after you. So, how are they going to pitch? Are they going to pitch with their strength, or are they going to pitch to certain guys in the order, okay, to be able to pitch around these other guys? Like I said, Correa, Gurriel, Freeman, and all those guys.
Wow.
Coach, last question before you let you go. You got me excited, man. As always, man, I love to learn. You know how the pitchers they be doing this and that. Who's got the final say? Like the catcher, the pitcher, who controls that? which pitch to throw, man?
It
Because they be
better
like,
be
nope.
the pitcher. It better be the pitcher.
It's
Who
always
gets all the money?
It's always the pitcher.
it's always the pitcher now. College baseball and high school baseball, it's always, you know, the coach, because he's the one that calls the pitches. But in pro ball, catcher calls the pitches, and the pitcher, you know, acknowledges yes or no, and he's got the final yay or nay.
Man, I wish that was like marriage. Be like, nope. No. Coach, man, we appreciate you, man. Oh my God, we always learn something, man, when you come on, man. And I appreciate it. And once again, before you go out, Coach, we always want to show you some love, man. For those who don't know you, tell a little bit about who you are in your program again, Coach. We want to make sure we show you some love.
Sure, thank you very much. Hardball baseball. Like I said, my number is 305-901-9173. That's my direct number. Kids from the ages of 8 to 18. A lot of fundamental baseball. And once again, thank you very much for letting me be on your show.
Thank you for joining, Coach. Once again, tell people where your academy is located. So for those who don't know as well.
Sure, it's right across Florida International University, little city called Sweetwater, and the address is 250 Southwest 116th Avenue.
All right, appreciate
you. Hey,
man.
I got one football question.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more than I like than the Miami Hurricanes and the Miami Dolphins. Okay, there's nothing more. When the Dolphins lose, I don't even watch news. I don't listen to shows, nothing. You know, we get this guy, and you guys are all pros, all everything. We get Jordan Howard, we get Breda, and all of a sudden Gaskin's the starting guy. How does that happen?
Now say that again.
The Dolphins in the offseason get Jordan Howard, okay, from the
what he was Chicago. Well,
at Chicago, then he went to Philadelphia.
Yep, exactly.
And then they get Breda from the 49ers.
Yep, traded for him. Yep, I think they traded or something like that, right? Okay.
This kid Gaskin is the starting guy. He's averaging like 3.6 yards per average, and they got two guys that are proven and they're not playing. Why is that?
It could be a combination thing. I haven't taken to the lab. K-Lou, have you taken that to the lab at all?
I haven't at all.
Okay.
Miami ain't showing up on my radar.
So Coach, I mean, I would just be guessing. I haven't taken it to the lab, but it could be a combination of things. One thing could be it's about trust factor. You know, it could be about pass protection. It could be about guys doing stuff the right way, you know, and you got to look at it. That would be my natural assumption because he's trying to build a culture like the Patriots way, you know, and so they emphasize discipline ball. Is no me and team, you know, no I and team. So it could be, I don't care who you are. If you don't do it our way, then now not only the best player is going to play, or the more you mentioned those other guys, they could be more talented, but if they're not the best teammate or whatnot, then their guy's not going to play as much. You know, they're going to put somebody that they trust, especially nowadays where you may be behind. You got to have somebody good on pass protection, have somebody more complete back. So that could be the case. I don't know, but I can research it for you.
Well, Coach,
hey, thank you very much, guys, for having me.
Absolutely. We thank you for coming and stopping by, man. Los, we appreciate you too, man.
And I appreciate everybody, man.
It done hit that final hour for us, man. We hit this thing nail on the head, and we gonna get up on out of here. Appreciate you, MB. Listen, ballers out there, we love y'all. We thank you for the comments, thank you for the support, and so much love. Double A, we appreciate you again. We again appreciate you coming out Tuesday and chopping it up with us. Los, you got anything to say? Pardon word.
Man, just go do.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about, Los. We're gonna get NC State, baby. Hey, you know Clayton went to NC State, MB, so you know I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right after the game when we bashed the head in. So go ahead.
That's just right. No, hey man, enjoy your glory, man. I would celebrate too, man, if Duke won. So that's why we're messing with you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your moment, man. Enjoy
He
it.
cross the head every chance he gets.
Exactly.
Hey,
So
hey,
I'm letting you shine, man. See, I ain't stabbing you back like my brother. My brothers just stabbed me, man. But they kick you while you're down.
Los, take him outside and train him. Make him cry again. We love y'all, man, for MBK Lewis in the building. From sideline to baseline, we are gone.